Way over 2 miles, our first of 2 races over fences at Musselburgh today. It's the Join Racing TV Now Novices Handicap Steeplechase, and Diamond State gives a lead to Masked Crusader going down to the first of 12 obstacles. They're already 4 or 5 lengths clear of Curious Times in third and Thunder in Milan, the back marker of the 4. So making this run to the opening fence. Fairly long run, isn't it, to the first from the 2 mile start. But here it is now, Diamond State, over it in front. Didn't make the greatest of shapes across it, but landed safely from the grey horse, Masked Crusader, as they now come to the first open ditch in the race. And both of the leading pair jump well. Better, in fact, than the 2 in behind. Curious Times rather reached for it, and Thunder in Milan's jockey, Stephen Mulqueen, looked quite uncomfortable for a second or so there as they come over the third. All 4 across that safely. Again, in third, Curious Times, not overly polished. And it is Masked Crusader who's now moved on. Takes the 4th in front, and down goes Curious Times. Curious Times was a faller at the 4th fence. So heading on down towards the winning line, with a circuit left to travel. Masked Crusader leads Diamond State and Thunder in Milan. And great to see both Curious Times and Sam Ewing up and seemingly okay following that tumble. So we're down to 3 as they venture out towards the far side of the track. Again, 4 fences in a line over on the next section of the course. Masked Crusader, who's won an Irish point-to-point, as well as a couple of races over hurdles, leads for Donald McCain and Brian Hughes in the colours of the Goodstock Syndicate. Coming now towards fence number 5. Second place at Diamond State, who relinquished the lead at an early stage, as Masked Crusader comes to the next. Diamond State over it in second, Thunder in Milan at back in a third. As they now race on towards fence number 7, another open ditch on the way. Masked Crusader up and over to, in second position, Diamond State. Thunder in Milan under Stephen Mulqueen, the back marker of the trio, as they race on now towards 5 from home, the last over in the back. That was probably Masked Crusader's best jump going down the far side, and he's in the lead by a couple of lengths now as they race towards the end of the back straight. Masked Crusader from Diamond State, who's won a couple of hurdle races here in the past. Derek Fox's only ride here today in Jerry McGladdery's very familiar colours here at Musselburgh. And back in third is Thunder in Milan, Diamond State's stable companion. So the 2 Lucinda Russell trained runners both giving pursuit to Masked Crusader, who's out on his own, swinging in. Must be a good 4 lengths ahead now, Masked Crusader, to Diamond State and Thunder in Milan. 4 more fences left to jump. Plain open ditch, plain. And it is Masked Crusader leading by 3 to 4 over Diamond State, who's trying to stage a retaliation on the outside, and back in third, Thunder in Milan, as they now make the journey down towards the third fence from home, the last of the open ditches. Masked Crusader on the left, with around about a length and a half in hand only to, in second position, Diamond State, who's closing in again. Back in third and needing a gear change at Thunder in Milan. 2 to jump, Masked Crusader a little low over it. Diamond State almost back on terms. They now look like fighting out the finish. They remain clear of Thunder in Milan. Masked Crusader held together at the last. Oh, went right through it, Adam Seats, and has left Diamond State clear. Diamond State from Thunder in Milan, and racing into the final 50 yards. Lucinda Russell will have the only 2 completing here. Diamond State leads home stable companion Thunder in Milan. Masked Crusader's fine, and Brian Hughes kneeling up.
Yeah, I mean, I think you can probably say that the winner is somewhat fortuitous there. I thought that Masked Crusader was going on to win the race, but as the second last sort of told it, he was maybe with the slight error at the second last, you could maybe have guessed that he was getting a little bit tired, but the final flight, he just made an absolute horlicks of it, and Diamond State has been the recipient.